Most Town Hall 16s are getting close to maxing out their Angry Jelly, but I'm going to tell you this, leave it at level 9. Do not max it out today. I've got the proof for you with the Super Witch Fireball attack strategy. Is the Frosty or the Jelly stronger for Warden charge attacks? And if the Jelly is stronger, do you want to get it to level 10, or does that last too long and maybe, just maybe, level 9 or even level 4 is better? We're going to talk through all of that today while showing some of the attacks I'm doing with Super Witches. I think this is the best army to use with the Jelly and the Fireball. As you can see, I've got a level 26 Fireball, but don't worry, you can do this exact same army comp with a level 20 Fireball. You can get that insane value right off the bat, and we're going to talk about this right now. So look, the Warden gets rid of that Archer Tower. Now, if I had a level 10 Jelly here, what would have happened is my Warden would have gone after this bomb tower as well, which isn't the end of the world. But I do want to enter on this right-hand side of the base. That is where I've been planning to come in from. So if my Warden ran over there, I'd have to be ready to change my plan on the fly. So straight off the bat, we see 30 seconds is well and truly long enough for your Jelly on an isolated core base. So thankfully the Warden comes down and he's going to meet up with the Queen. Now, in today's video, most of the attacks, I'm just going to show you the Warden walk so that you can see the difference between the Jelly and the Frosty and whether the Jelly is good or not. But in this first attack, I will show you the whole replay just so that you can get an idea of what I'm doing with the Super Witches. Now, with Super Witches, particularly on these isolated core bases, I love using the Siege Barracks because look at the funnel that the Siege Barracks is creating here. This funnel is amazing and everything's going to go straight into the core. Now, if there was an Invis Tower there, don't worry. I'll show you a video later, an attack later in the video where we go into a double Invis core. You're just going to have to use your freeze spells really well. But don't worry, I'll show you how to do that. And I mean, look at this. All of the Super Witches are alive and healthy. The P.E.K.K.A. and Wizards are doing huge work on the outside of the base, and we are crushing this one. You might have noticed I'm using the Spiky Ball. Now, why do I like using the Spiky Ball? Because you can use it to set off Invis Towers on the flank if you funnel correctly, and I think that's pretty OP, particularly with this Invis Tower meta we're in. But generally with Super Witches, most entries work. It's just about find the Fireball value and then use the funnel that that Fireball creates, like you saw here, to start with the Super Witches. On these isolated cores, generally use the Siege Barracks, but on most other bases, come in with the Flame Flinger if there's any Flame Flinger value. Otherwise, the Siege Barracks is obviously best. And yeah, we're going to completely swag the Royal Champion on this one. This was crushed, but let's have an in-depth look at Warden walks now. So is the Jelly better than the Frosty? Well, definitely in some scenarios, and no better one than this right here. So you can see the Warden Walks come in here. Now, what I want to target with the Warden Walk is this Builder Hut, because if I target this Builder Hut, I'm going to get rid of the Ricochet Cannon, the Monolith, and the Clan Castle, and that's pretty OP value. But if I had the Frosty here, it would take quite a while to target this, because my Warden would go after not only this storage here, but the Town Hall before this Builder Hut. And that would take a lot of time to get through the Town Hall. Sure, I could Invis the Town Hall to get the Fireball off, but that's investing spells, and then obviously an Invis Town Hall when it's activated is never a good thing. But have a look at how quick this is now. So the Warden's just gliding through. We're not even under that much damage. Put the double Quake down, and now we're not only going to get rid of all of that, but the Town Hall has lost half of its health, and we're going to get it down without using a single rage spell, and we've even got a nice funnel. But it gets better. Because the Jelly is still active for a little bit longer, we can get more value. So the Jelly does end there, but I do continue this Warden Walk a bit because I want to trip this Poison Tower, and look at that. Look at that. So we did this. So the first, the Warden went down at 240. In 44 seconds, we cleared out all of this. And as you can expect, we crushed this base thereafter, coming in with the Siege Barracks and the King on the bottom. However, in the last attack, I didn't really mind where the Warden went after the Fireball. Whereas in this attack, I definitely do. Gonna pause it quickly. As you can see, I'm trying to get the Fireball right on this Expo here so we can clear out all of this stuff. And then the Flame Flinger is going to move up towards the Town Hall, so I definitely want the Warden to go down because we're going to smash into the back end of the base. But, as you're going to see here, I don't really have control because I have to Fireball too early. Worth noting, by the way, the Warden will not follow a Yeti. if I bring in the Frosty, the Warden will follow the Yeti. So one of the biggest benefits of the Jelly is obviously the fact that the Warden's not going to follow any troops and you can funnel them a lot better. But at this stage, I just get lucky. That was luck. There was no skill in that in terms of sending the Warden to one side. That was a little bit lucky that the Flame Flinger went up and the Warden went down. But in the next attack, I won't get so lucky. So here we are, the double invis bases that are so common in the meta. Now what I want to do is to get the Fireball to target this Ricochet Cannon and then smash through on the bottom, but I'm sure you can all see what's about to happen here. So the Warden's doing its thing, we've got the Flame Flinger on the top side, beautiful Fireball value, and we get all that down, but have a look at this. The Warden's gone. And there is no way I'm ever going to be able to pull the Warden back down to the bottom. I put the Queen down here, but the Jelly's still got at least 10 seconds at this stage. And now I have to choose what to do. Do I do the Super Witches with the Warden and the Flame Flinger? Or do I do them with the Queen and not have any healers? And this is one of the biggest problems with the Fireball. So we're going to jump back to the start of this attack, and I'm going to draw out for you what I should have done, knowing that I've got the Jelly. So what I should have done, because obviously you look on the top side of the base here, that is amazing Flame Flinger value if we're going to get rid of the Eagle. So yet again, put the Flame Flinger over there, and then what I should have done is started the Warden like here, maybe even here. So we're going to have the Warden to clear out all of this, and at some point he will likely step towards the Expo. If he doesn't, we're going to use our one invis spell you see with the army, and you could use it, say, on these buildings here, and force the Fireball to go in there, use the Double Quake, and you would take most of that down. You wouldn't get the Expo that you see on the end here. That wouldn't go down, but that would still be fine. Well and truly good enough value, and then the Warden would continue walking this way. So when you're popping your Fireball early, you need to think about where you want your Warden to go afterwards with the Jelly. What better way to demonstrate what I just talked about with angling your Warden than right here? Because obviously we want to Fireball this invis tower compartment. So we put the Warden on the bottom side of that. Now that does mean we're not going to get the multi-archer tower down on the top side, but it does mean I know my Warden's going down to the Eagle artillery after this. And look at this. We can use the Flame Flinger for that multi-archer tower on the top side anyway. And it just gets better because we've got so much time on the Warden here. And this is what I really like. You don't have to use your Fireball, then pull the Warden over. Use your Fireball early, but still go for value with your Warden. Now, right now, the Jelly is ending. And this is another kind of example of why I prefer level 9 than level 10. Because if I had level 10, he would go in and go after this Grand Warden here and probably get in Royal Champion range. I don't need that Grand Warden down. The Warden can always get sufficient value in 30 seconds. 30 seconds is quite a long time. So I don't really see the need to get the Jelly to level 10 here, because I think it would just get me in more trouble than not. So really nice opener here. Then we can put the Queen down. The Flame Flinger's on the left-hand side, and away we go. And I'm actually going to show you a little bit more of this attack. I know some of you have been begging for some Super Witches, and if you do want to see a full Super Witch video on the channel, do let me know. But I want to show you this. So I am bringing the Spiky Ball with the King, and look at that. It doesn't take down that compartment, but it damages it a whole lot. I probably should have froze the invis tower. I did try to, but look at this. All the troops go into the core nicely. We've got the big boys going around the edge. They do clear it up, and this is going to end up being a triple. Hopefully this is another great example of why the Jelly is nice, but you don't need a level 10 Jelly. So starting the Warden all the way out here. Now, if I was using the Frosty would likely pull a bit of the CC. The Warden does, because I'm slightly late on the Quakes, but that is alright. We get the Rage spell down. So we've already gotten a really nice Fireball here, but if I had the Frosty, the Warden would have to get through all of the trash here, particularly the DE storage. But look at this now. The Warden's going to get rid of this ground bow and the scatter here, and look at this funnel that we're going to have. So the Warden's now targeting trash buildings. Look at the funnel. I haven't used my Flinger either, so we're going to have the Siege Barracks on the bottom side, and then we're going to have the whole Smash army go through the middle. Super Witch Smash attacks are all about the funnel, and you can't ask for a better funnel than this. Look at that. I get basically everything I want to in the core of this base, and you guess it, this ends up being another 3-star. But what do you do on these double invis isolated core bases? Well, I'm going to show you. It might surprise you though, we are not going to use the fireball with the Warden walk here. We are going to save it for the smash part of the attack. So Jelly's coming in on the bottom side here with the Warden. By the way, this is going to be another great example of level 9 being better than level 10, because trust me, I would not have wanted an extra 5 seconds on my Warden for this attack. So we got the Flame Flinger on the left, setting a funnel. Keep in mind, with the Jelly, you need to funnel out defenses, not actual buildings. So the Flame Flinger is perfect with the Warden. And have a look at this. The Warden gets just to the core in time. The Jelly becomes active, and we set off the first Invis Tower, but we do not use the Fireball. Now, why don't we use that? I'm going to talk about it briefly. One, it's good to note we've got the Flame Flinger on the bottom side, so I really don't want to come in with the Super Witch Smash over here, because then I'll be nullifying my own Flame Flinger value, so we don't want to come in that way. Now, if I had used the Fireball on this Expo here, I think we would have gotten all of this, so not the top Expo, but we would have gotten all of that down. So if I enter over here with the Super Witch Smash, there is no way I can funnel that all into the core of the base. We are going to do a big lap of the base, which isn't terrible, but that's not really what I want to do. So what have we done? Well, I've activated the first Invis Tower, and now it's not going to go back up in time. And good news, by the way, I am going to show you this whole attack, because I want to show you that I think this is the best way of taking down these bases. So yet again, we got the Super Witches coming in on the bottom, but it looks like we're going to struggle for the funnel on the top side. You see where the wall break opens, but that's okay. We've got the Spiky Ball, and look at the funnel the Spiky Ball sets. Amazing. Completely and utterly amazing. Now we're going straight into this first Invis Tower, but it's ineffective because keep in mind, we activated it like 30 seconds ago. We do have to worry about this second Invis Tower. It will go off in a second. My Fireball goes off because I'm happy if the Fireball goes off in the core of the base. And look, it clears out a whole bunch of value. Yeah, the troops go up, but that's okay. They come back to the Town Hall because they kind of landlocked in that compartment anyway. And now they're going to get through the back side of the core here. Yeah, there's only one Super Witch, and it does look a little funky. But trust me, I did this a few times on the double invis bases when there's double invis in the core, and it worked every single time. The King's still on the top side, the Yetis are still on the bottom side, fighting a defensive CC Yeti bomb, which actually was probably better at stopping my Yetis than a triple Ice Golem CC would have been. I've got the RC, got so many swag spells. This is completely crushed. So showing you, you don't necessarily need the Fireball with this attack strategy with the Warden Walk. Save it and reap the benefits later. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some attacks, like this one you're about to see here, where the level 10 Jelly would be better. Like, I'm not going to hide from that. There are definitely some attacks where they're better. But you can still triple these with a level 9 Jelly. You're going to see what happens here. My Jelly does not get through all of the trash. So I did want to use my Fireball on the Scatter or the Single Inferno, but I think I'm going to use it on the Tesla in the end here. And as you can see, because the Loon pulls out a few of the archers in the CC, the Fireball, I think, the Jelly ends, I believe, right now. So the Warden's going to start targeting trash. So, look, it didn't get me there quick enough, but that's okay. It's worth not having the level 10 Jelly and giving it up in attacks fight like this for all of the other attacks you saw in this video where a level 10 Jelly would have put me in jeopardy. It wouldn't have just been bad. It would have made me way more likely to fail. And I would much rather go a low-risk approach and it works for more bases than it worked for specific bases but put me in far bigger risk. As you can see, the CC does kind of come out, but the Fireball does do a lot of damage to it. We got the Siege Barracks yet again, and the Super Witches coming in. And that's kind of it for my video today on Jelly versus the Frosty and what level you set up the Jelly at. Now, don't get me wrong, I still really like the Frosty, so if you love the Frosty, using it's fine, and most of the time it will be really good, particularly on those double invis spaces where you pop your Warden immediately. But it's worth noting, with the Jelly, I did not time fail once. I've run this army now for 3 days. I have not time failed once. And I think that's a pretty good sign that the Jelly is fantastic with this army. It's just, you have to be careful. You have to use some of the tricks I've shown you in this video, like angling your Warden to make sure that your Warden is not at risk of running away. and then you just need to be aware of the countdown clock. But that's it for this video. If you'd like to see a full Super Witch video with just Super Witch attacks, let me know. I do enjoy Super Witches. They are a bit of fun, as you can see. They're completely tearing through the core of this super compact base. This army is super duper strong. I love using it and would more than happily show it on the channel again.